Hi there, it's Phil Binks. Today I'm going to show you how you can get your Sony Alpha 5000, the old camera, to give you a clean HDMI so that you can use it as a webcam, a high quality webcam. If you've got one of these gathering dust in the corner because you've been a Sony user for some time and you have a spare lens, this might be a really good idea to start getting it back out and getting it into use. If you've got one of these and you want to use it as a spare webcam, maybe for another angle as well, that will work particularly well for you. So this is for the Sony Alpha 5000, and the 5000 bit appears, I'm showing you it kind of upside down. Let's just twist it round. It's on the top of the eye of the camera just there, so it's for this one. This particular video is aimed at Mac users. There's a lot of information already online for Windows users to how to reprogram the 5000 using a Windows machine. This is specifically for the Mac. If you're a Windows user and you're watching this and you want to watch it for the intrigue, then welcome along. Thanks for coming. If you are a Windows user and you want to get the information as quickly as possible, I'll put a link in the description to the person who I think does the best run through on how to do the process on a Windows machine. Regarding Mac, the Mac system is a little bit more complex to try to reprogram this, but it still works. I'm going to be going through this step by step. So if you want to try and do this along with me, then you can do that, maybe pausing the video as we go along. But with the whole process, I will be showing on the screen just up here to take you through every step of the way. So let's get into it if you are looking to do this. So the first thing we need a few things actually. Firstly, kind of hardware wise, you will need to have the charging cable, the micro USB that comes and plugs into the A5000. It needs to be a data cable, not one that just carries a charge. Possibly you won't find that out until you've actually got some of the way through this, but I was lucky. All of mine are data cables as well. We also need a well-charged battery in the camera. We don't want it running out of power midway through programming it. You'll need a pen and paper, and that'll become obvious why, because you're going to need to write a small amount of information down. And you're going to need your Wi-Fi SSID and password and be in a Wi-Fi area. You need to be on Wi-Fi to transfer the command change over to the camera. We do that on the wireless network from your Mac. Okay, so if you're still with me, thanks for coming. And we are now going to do the two kind of hard bits. Once we've got through these two bits, then the rest of it's more or less plain sailing, and it proves that you really want to get through and do this. So the first thing we need to do is go to this funny address, and I'll leave all of the links to places on my description below this video. So let's move on to the next screen, because I'm going to go to the Mac that we're going to do all of this on. So I'm going to just close that part of the window down, because we are now in the area that says that GitHub bit. So if I just bring this back up just for a second. So we are in this area now. That's the address that we are currently at on the screen. And on the screen, if I can just highlight it for you, we are going to download this one, the one there, so GUI OSX DMG. To download it, you simply click on that icon or that highlighted link. So I'll click. I apologize for having two cursors on the screen. It might be a little bit confusing for you, but hopefully we get on with that. Okay. the download happened. It went into my downloads folder. So I'm going to open up my downloads folder and I'm going to show you it right here because it's that top one. So I can now double click and effectively install that application, or at least get to a point where we're nearly installed. It's kind of sitting in a folder on its own now. Let me just hide Safari for the moment because it's in the way, and I can kind of close down my downloads now. So on your desktop you'll find this icon, and you'll probably see the kind of pseudo disk that comes with it just at the top. We can eject that later, but for the app, what we need to do is we need to put it really properly on our computer. I recommend doing that. So what we can do is go to a new Finder window and drag this app. So click and drag into your applications folder, and then just let it copy into there. And so that's done. If I now go to the applications folder, I will be able to show you it because it's that one there. Look, PMCA-GUI 17. We're going to run that. Let's have a look back at the instructions. So the instructions say download and basically, of course, install. But the second thing that we need to do is to download and activate a thing called Telnet. Now, just as an explanation for you, Telnet is like a small program that allows you to send data commands across the network. Mac used to always include it, but recently they've left it out of the operating system, so you now have to install it separately. And we do that through a program called Homebrew. So we're going to go to Homebrew right now. Again, as I say, all of the links are going to be in the description below. So Homebrew is going to be on the Safari browser, and let's just go to that. And we've got a link here that says how to remove. So there's a link on how to remove it. So that's comforting. And if I scroll up to the top, how to install Homebrew. Well, what we need to do is we need to go to the terminal application. Let's just highlight, it says there, terminal application. I actually also put that on, well, I probably didn't, but anyway, we need to use terminal to install this. So we go to terminal, and the way we do that is we go Command space, that brings up your Spotlight search. Type in TERM. It's very likely that terminal will come up because terminal is a natural application that Apple include. Once you've got that, press return to launch terminal, and terminal looks like this. So I can actually get rid of this window now, and I'll just show you the terminal window. So it looks something like that. Your computer name will appear here. What we're going to do is copy this text from the web. So you click and drag across it, make sure it goes all the way to there. So I've highlighted that part. We do Command copy, and then click into the terminal app and just paste. All right, so that has copied that text exactly, including the final parenthesis at the end there. Let me just zoom in to show you that. That's what it all looks like. If I kind of click, it just stays highlighted. I can now press return, and it says checking for access, and it wants my password. So you will then type in the password on your computer that gets you into your Mac. And then at the bottom it says press return to continue. And then it installs this application, which is called Homebrew. So this is part one of an installation. It takes a little while, so just be patient. Don't worry about it. But when it's finished, it comes up with this kind of thing that you see at the bottom of the screen here. Okay, so once you've got that, if you're worried, you can press return again and it will repeat that line once more. So that's what it will kind of look like. You'll end up with your MacBook. So let's zoom out and show you the next stage. By the way, if you're getting a bit confused and worried, don't worry. It's just a two-step process, really. But what we now need to do, that we've got Homebrew on the system, is to install Telnet itself. So to get to Telnet, what we do is go to the next link, and it's a simple command of brew install Telnet, just there. So I'm just going to copy it, click on there, paste it in and press return. And so now Telnet has been installed. Again, it finishes off with the name of your Mac, for instance. I can press return as many times as I like. It just repeats that. It doesn't do anything. But now we've got a software package called Telnet running on the Mac that will allow us to send data into the Sony camera. So we can now close Telnet, or we can close the terminal. So I'm just going to close it there. And let's have a look at the next stage. So we've done two things already, and these are the hardest things that you need to do. Okay, and as I say, links will be in the description below, so you'll be able to get the links to the important web pages in the background. Okay, next, let's have a look at the long list of things we need to do. So we're now going to go back to the Sony camera. And on the Sony camera, we're going to go to the toolbox and do this bit. So let me take you back a page. This just makes it a little bit less confusing for you. And what I'm going to do is show you the camera. Hopefully this will allow me to show you where we are. So on the camera, go to the menu button and go up to camera settings. Click on that, and then at the far right hand side at the top is the toolbox, and we then click with the circular navigation wheel at the back of the camera, click down and then once to the right and then all the way down to USB connection. Okay, click on that, and then we're going to select MTP. All right, yours might be on auto, mine's currently on MTP. I select that and it says MTP in the corner. That's all you need to do there. Keep the, it then says connect your camera, connect your Sony A5000 via USB. That means to the computer. All right. So let's do that with the cable. Okay, and it says here it will show USB mode MTP. Okay, I'm going to turn off that now, and I'm actually going to take the HDMI cable out for the time being, because now we go to the Mac. So we're back to the Mac. So let's move back onto the Mac side, and we are going to run the PMCA graphic interface app that we've only just downloaded. So let's do that. And the way I can do that best is to hide Safari, so it's not in the way. And I'll hide the, I'll bring the applications window over, And so what we're going to do is we're going to double click on this GUI app here. Remember, your camera is connected to the computer at the moment and obviously turned on. Double click. And then what I want to do is I want to show you that you get a warning here that says the developer is not verified. This is very typical for this kind of application because they don't apply to Apple to get the verification. But that's not a problem. Let's leave that on the screen. What we will need to do to get over this issue is I'm going to close down the applications window, leave this warning on the screen, go to your system preferences, and in your system preferences, go to security and privacy. Let me show you where that is with the big red arrow there. So click on security and privacy. And then in the bottom, it says allow apps downloaded from, just there. If you click on the lock icon at the bottom of the screen, it will ask you for your computer password, the one that you log into the Mac with. So apply your computer password. All right. And then go back to this little warning box just here. Let me make it just a bit more obvious that that's where we are. Click on cancel. And it immediately then comes up in the bottom here to say so-and-so app was blocked. Do you want to open it anyway? And we're going to click on the open anyway icon. Just show you where that is. That one there. We're going to open it anyway. Another warning is likely to come up. Let me show you. We still click open. All right, we can now close the security and privacy box, and a small window will have opened on your screen. And let me just again zoom into that so you can see it. So this is the software application that we've just downloaded, and it's sitting there and waiting for our next instructions. The next instructions are on the Mac. It says we go up here. It says run it, and we're now running it. When the GUI opens, press get camera info. That's this button here. So let's do that. Okay. And make sure that the camera is connected. The window should display the camera model and other information. So the camera model is called an ILCE5000. That's the Sony Alpha 5000 as we know it. Go to the Install tab. That's that one up here. Click on the Install tab. Then it says make sure that select an app from the app list is ticked. That's this blue box here. So you're going to select that one, make sure that's highlighted, and then we're going to go to the drop down box here. And on the drop down box, we're going to select Open Memories Tweak. All right, and that then appears in that box. You then press Install Selected App. So click on that. And the software installation then begins and it starts installing. It might take a little while, but once it's done, it then says task successfully completed. Okay, and that's that part. The next bit here says you can close the app. So we can close down the app on the Mac just by clicking its normal red arrow at the top there. Okay, we go back to the Sony camera. So we're going to go back a page just to make it easier for you so you can see me a little bit better. So we are on the Sony instructions just here. It says switch the camera off and disconnect it from the USB from the Mac. Switch it on again and then navigate to the menu application list. So let me show you the camera here. So I'm going to go to the application menu, which is that one there. Click on it. Click on application list. And then we find this new thing that we've just installed called Open Memories Tweak. Click on that. In Open Memories Tweak, we have a developer option, which is the far right hand side here. We need to highlight that. So we need to press right and just navigate over to it there. So click on that. Well, you don't really need to click on it, but what we're going to do now is we're going to go down and just follow the instructions. It says the first thing we do is select and click Enable Telnet. So we select Enable Telnet and press the button in the middle of the circle at the back, and that will turn that green. You see that green light. The next thing we do is we move to the Wi-Fi settings at the bottom of the screen, which is just that area. So again, with the navigation wheel, highlight it, it becomes orange, press the select button and that will open that up for you. And then we go down, if we follow the instructions, it says select access point set. So it's the middle one, press select. And then it's now going to look for your Wi-Fi. So hold on one sec. So we now select the Wi-Fi that is yours and enter the password that you know for your Wi-Fi. So this might take a second or two for you to do. You can always pause this at this point. Once you have done that, you can go back to the Open Memories Tweak. So you press menu once, twice, and we're now in the Memories Tweak app, and we can navigate up to the Wi-Fi and it says enable Wi-Fi. So once you've put the Wi-Fi data in, you press and enable Wi-Fi on the camera. So select that, a green tick appears. Okay, and let it connect. And the important thing here is that it then comes up with an IP address of your camera. This is what you need to write down. It's not going to be the same as mine. If you write mine down, it's a waste of time. Please don't do that. Write down the number that is shown in the window for your IP address for your camera. Okay, once you've done that, you can come away from that if you want to. You can press the menu button on the back of the camera, whatever you like to do. So going to the Mac, let's switch over to the Mac area for the next section. And here I am with half of the Mac screen, but that's going to be enough for you. So on the screen here, let's just point it out. So on the Mac, we're at this point now, we're nearly at the end, it's very close. We relaunched the terminal app if you turned it off. So do you remember it's Command space and then type in TER and it will come up, and we've got this window. Let me just enlarge it once more for you. Give me a sec. That just makes it a little bit nicer. And then we've got some things to type in. Now I'm going to give you a link onto a web page where you can simply copy and paste the things here, so don't worry about that. But the first we need to do is type something in, and we're going to type in this line that we see here, and that is telnet lowercase space and then the IP address of your camera as you wrote it down. Okay, and then it says press enter. So actually I need to connect my camera because I've been talking too much. So I can connect to the camera. Oh no, I don't need to connect the camera. I'm just being silly because of course this is going over Wi-Fi. So then what I will do is simply press return. And we get this, and believe it or not, that is exactly what we need. It kind of ends in a hash and there's a grey box there ready for you to type the next thing in. Now the next thing in that we're going to type is this sequence here. Now, as I say, I'm going to send you to a web page where this exists that you can simply copy and paste it into that area. So I'm going to do the same. I just got it already. So I'm going to type the first line in. I want to type the first line in because what this all is, that R means read. So the line that we've just put in there is going to tell me what the result is of a particular thing. So if I press return and it says, if you see over here, 0, 1, and that 0, 1 represents the fact that there is data going down the HDMI port out to the viewer, showing all of the data from the camera. We need to change that to 0, 0, and that's what this next line will actually do. So let me just type that in. So there it is. That's it. Make sure you don't get any of this wrong. Just copy and paste it is the easiest thing, but you can type it in for yourself if you want to. I'm pressing return. And what this is going to do, just to tell you, because I like to inform people of what's going on. What this is the W means write, and we're going to write in this area 0, 0. So, and if I press return on the computer, it will do that. So now, if I type in the bottom line, which is exactly the same as the top, it will tell me whether or not 0, 0 applies. So let's just type that in and have a look. You can't copy and paste from within the terminal app, by the way. So that's it. Is it a 0, 0? Press return and I get a confirmation that 0, 0 is now the result. Before it was 0, 1 and now it's 0, 0, and that to us means it's a clean HDMI. We now quit the terminal app, and on the Sony camera we turn it off and then turn it on. So let's quit terminal. So terminal quit. And it says terminate. I just wanted you to see that. Let's just terminate. So we've now terminated the connection to the camera, and we can turn off the camera, and I'm going to plug it in so you can see things. Then we can turn on the camera. Okay, so let's do that. I'm now going to press the movie button on the back, and all of a sudden we have a clean HDMI out, showing you a very badly held version of me. So there we are. We have a clean HDMI out. Let me just put this on a tripod, show you what the result really is. But we have finished the job. Congratulations. Nice to see that you've completed it. Okay, hold on. So I've just plugged in the Sony Alpha 5000 now after we've removed all of the screen clutter. It's just up here. So let me move very quickly to the full feed from it so you can see it. So there it is. Let's take that away. I've just zoomed in a bit too much, but you can see I've got the standard zoom lens, and I'll talk to the standard zoom lens right now. So you can see it's very good quality, and if you've got a 5000 sitting in the corner that you want to get a good, really great HDMI clean feed for a webcam, then this is a perfect solution, I think. So I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration, and look forward to helping you in the future. If you like what you've seen, consider doing the Buy Me a Coffee. Anyway, that's really where we are now. So if you've got any comments or any questions, please leave them in the comments below the video. As I say, all of the information is in the description below, so you can get all of the download links for the software, and the instructions are going to be there. So without further ado, thanks for watching, and it's been great to help you out. See you soon.